Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a very important and topic that is near to dear to me, which is retirement planning. Now there's a couple steps that you really have to do when you get into retirement planning, but before we get into the video guys, click on the subscription button, turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the information that we have getting you financially sound. So we're going to go through the 5 steps of retirement planning, guys, and really breaking them down in my own words, in my own version. Number 1, knowing when to start retirement planning. So retirement planning, honestly, is a very, very early game. If you start when you're in the teens, if you start when you turn 20, is amazing as it may seem, the earlier and the more that you kind of think of this, the better you'll do in retirement. If you start putting away a little bit of money, the earlier that you can do it, the more you're going to have the years of the compounding interest and the growth factor that goes into there. Now, a lot of people will start getting into their late 20s, 30s, even 40s before they really start the retirement planning. That's probably 10 or 15 years too late if you're in your 40s already, just for the fact that you might have 20 more years, and getting and putting away an incredible amount of money to get a set retirement is very difficult, guys. So step 1, knowing when to start the retirement planning. Again, the earlier that you start having those conversations, the more you are going to be well off and the more you plan. If you've noticed kind of a general theme around the channel, guys, the more that you really spend the time and effort into planning, even though being flexible with the plans, there will be variations, there will be changes, but the more that you do plan, the better you can succeed. Now, step 2 is figuring out how much you need to retire. Now this, again, earlier in your 20s, you might not exactly know, but as you start getting into the 30s and 40s, you're going to kind of get a general idea of where you're at. So if you're making $100,000 a year, general rule of thumb is replacing 70 to 90% of your income when you get into retirement. So there are a lot of graphs, a lot of calculators, things of that nature to exactly how much you need to put away. Again, the later in life that you really start the retirement planning and also putting money into retirement, the less years you have to actually compound that interest and get a lot more value from your money, which is the reason why we do talk about starting it earlier. Number 3, prioritizing your financial goals. Now, again, we've went through the goal planning, we've went through the debt consolidation, things of that nature. When you get to this step, prioritizing your financial goal, general, again, rule of thumb is you want to save 15%. That is right, guys. When you look at our 50, 30, 20, 15% of that final 20% should be retirement planning or goal planning to go ahead and set money aside so you know when you do get to retirement age, you're going to have more than enough of a nest egg to actually support the income that you have. Another thing with the financial goals, guys, is making sure that step number 2, the debt consolidation phase, is completed in its entirety. You're planning a budget to almost perfection at this point when you're getting into retirement, because you're going from a regular income to a very fixed income when you start getting into Social Security, when you start getting into things of that nature. You kind of go to a very set, more of a structured income, which means for a lot of people, no more overtime, no more bonuses, no more things of that nature. You're going to a retirement income, and your budgeting really needs to plan for that. I see a lot of people that go into retirement that still have 10, 15, 20, even 30 years on a mortgage left, realizing very quick in retirement that it is very hard for those really big ticket items when you go to that fixed income, which can make it incredibly difficult to do. So definitely prioritizing your financial goal. Home definitely should be paid off by the time you're ready to retire. It will kind of set you up financially sound when you go into retirement with very minimal to no debt, and also having a home that is paid off, again, can be incredibly wise to do. Now, the next part we get into, guys, is the retirement plan. So there's a lot of different ways to really spin this. 401k provided by an employer, especially if they do a match, that is the absolute starting point for a majority of Americans. They do have a 401k match. So I put in 4% of my money. My employer will match 4% of my money. So you are getting a dollar for dollar match. Now, when it comes to the 15% that you're setting aside, I do not take into account the employer match, just for the simple fact, a lot of them, there's a vesting period. There can be a margin of error when it comes to that, but putting away 15%. So when your employer asks how much you want to put away that 15%. You know what? If they're giving you 4%, the 19% isn't going to hurt you. And also, if you're building it in your budget with that 15% already being set aside, it's not going to hurt you when you get your paycheck and you're living exactly to your paycheck. If you set aside, again, paying yourself, putting away that 15%, when you get your actual income, that is what is going to be the basis of the 50, 30, 20, with the 20% already worked out, with 15% of that being that retirement plan. Big thing to note, guys, is if you do not have a retirement plan, you have a lot of options out there. You have a lot of investment vehicles. You have IRAs that are in there. You have a bunch of different options. Just because your employer doesn't offer a retirement plan doesn't mean that you can just go ahead and not retire, guys. You really have to get used to retiring or setting aside money towards retirement. So put 15% of your salary. Mathematically, take your annual salary, take 15% of that, put it into a savings account, put it into an IRA, put it into an investment vehicle that is going to be there for the longevity. That way, when you do need to use that money, when you start getting into retirement, you already have it there because you have a plan and you've actually built it up. Now, one of the things that I do use, guys, M1 Finance, we've kind of talked about it before. There's an affiliate link down before. They have the IRAs. They have a lot of the investment vehicles. If you do not have retirement plans that are offered through your work, it is a good place to put a set amount of your salary so you can invest it all of the time. Now, the next step, guys, we talk about is selecting the investment, retirement investments. Now, personally, not financial advice. There's a lot of different things you can do. Age-based funds like a 2055, 2060, 2065 plan based on your retirement. You could go with something like the S&P 500 investing, the Russell 2000. There's a lot of different approaches for this. My advice is to seek out a financial advisor, so someone who actually deals with stocks and bonds, things of that nature, coming up with a plan, and then you're just investing in the plan. A lot of companies do offer services like that for free. So you provide the funds that are going into your investment account. They will determine the right mix of funds to actually put your money in. And that is a great way to really let it grow. If you don't have any experience or any knowledge when it comes to the stock market, things like that, definitely seek out a well-qualified financial advisor. And the big thing, guys, is the way that you have to look at is to manage your money. They might charge you a fee, but honestly, it is an investment in yourself. It is an investment in your future. If you know you're not financial savvy to go ahead and pick stocks and bonds, investment, retirement accounts, things of that nature, seek the advice of professionals, guys. I cannot stress that enough. I don't want you to just throw a bunch of money into something that you know nothing about and really just hope long-term growth is going to be there. Really hope that the stock market or the price is going to evolve. Some you might get lucky, some you might lose out on incredibly. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Really kind of giving a general overview of the 5 steps of retirement planning. There's going to be more videos in the future that kind of break down each step and break it down a lot further than we covered hand in hand, to kind of go deeper into the breakdown of it. Some of the IRA knowledge, things of that nature. Again, a lot of it is really based on your taxable income, your method that you're using to retirement. Roth IRAs have contribution limits. They have a lot of tax advantages that you can take care of or that you can utilize. But again, a lot of it does depend on your financial situation. So again, guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.